And you're wearing green, you said? No, we won't have to come in at all. Oh, you're wearing your animal. Okay. Oh, right. Oh my God, yes. Yes. Okay, okay, we'll be there. Bye. He said he's wearing his animal shirt. I'm like, oh, I don't know that. If it's spying. With the spy.
Yes.
Ken Atwell, is that you?
That's me.
That's Ken Atwell. Good. How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Good to see you.
You too.
Hi, I'm Ken.
This is Jeff.
Nice to meet you, Jeff.
He does camera work direct. Yeah.
I like your shirt.
You know that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Cool.
Oh my God. You
Right.
won
I'm a
his heart.
geek.
You won his heart.
I'm a huge geek.
That's good. That's good.
So,
Hi, Ken.
Hi. How are you?
doing? I have a big thing for you to do since you're a dog trainer.
Yeah. What do you want me to do?
Donna Wilkes here came here with her dogs, her 2 dogs.
Hi, Donna.
Hi.
Seen all your movies.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Now, she wants to get some advice. I'm going to let you guys discuss what she needs,
Okay.
and I'll be back.
So, how did you get this dog?
Oh, Chico is a rescue from the East Valley shelter. He was going to be put down. I took down his number. I saw him online. I was looking to rescue a dog. And when I went there, he wasn't there. So I thought, oh, wow, he got adopted. That's great. Something told me to ask the office before I left. And I gave them the number. And they said, oh, yeah, he's here in seclusion because he has a attitude problem. And I said, really? He says, do you want to see him? And I said, yeah. Well, what it was that he had all these rotten teeth in his mouth. So when you would go to pet him, he'd go,
Because he was in pain.
He was in pain.
Yeah.
He's also got a collapsed windpipe. That's what he's doing right now.
So was he abused?
I definitely believe so. His bones in the back are so badly cracked.
So he might have been stuck in a cage for too long.
Stuck in the cage.
This is a common problem with some dogs and dog owners. They kind of give up on their dog and they'll put them in a cage. You know, training can help a lot of this stuff. This particular dog is already 19 years old, so you know we're going to let it be the way it is now. But when she got it, it was 12, and this is a common problem, especially with smaller dogs. The teeth problem probably comes from either bad breeding or too bad of food. The food makes all the difference. If you feed your dog good food, give him a greenie once a week, teeth can be maintained. Also, brushing the teeth can avoid that. And believe it or not, when a dog has bad teeth, it can cause all kinds of issues, including stomach problems, skin issues, bone disease, a lot of different things.
What about, I want to ask, what about the additive for the water? Do you recommend that?
I would always consult a vet first,
Okay.
but yes, I do.
Yeah, because I've used that and it actually works pretty good.
Especially also for larger dogs, glucosamine regimen. If a certain dog breed you believe has a lot of hip dysplasia, it doesn't hurt to do a glucosamine regimen. But of course, I always tell people to consult their vet first because you got to get the proper dosage. Now, isn't this your dog as well?
Yes, this is a newbie, the youngest dog I've had. I got her when she was about 4 months old. I rescued her from actually the same shelter. I don't know what I was thinking. I just, I just love dogs. I had a Malamute and Husky 20 years ago when I was married, or longer than that, sorry. And she was so mellow. I had no idea that Huskies were so frisky and took so much energy and were so strong. And
I'm glad she mentioned that because Huskies, I believe every dog should be trained. And people sometimes wait till they're 6 months old. That is an old wives' tale. Start the dog off as soon as it knows its name. The sooner you train, the sooner you can get the dog to obey. Because you will have bad habits. We're human. So we overtalk, we over lovey-dovey, we overdo everything. And that's okay. But we still got to train the dog, and we have to be the boss at least one time a day. And we can achieve that. We can have the same lovey-dovey dog and still have a dog that obeys. Now, huskies are pack animals. So I always believe in eye contact. Eye contact can change everything for a dog. It can actually build trust. It can actually get the dog to do what you want. In fact, I've been working with Linnea here, and it's already working with her dogs. And I've only been here a few days, and dogs respond to that. It's like kind of like the kid waiting for his dad, with the football in his hand. The dad shows up. That memory is going to last forever. Same thing with the eye contact drills. The eyes are the windows to our soul. I truly believe that. I've been doing this for 19 years, and it's worked on everything. And with a husky, which is the known escaped artist, because they're so free-spirited, and they're one of the closest dogs to the wolves, so they have that free spirit. Now, they're pack animals, so if you get the dog to look you in the eye and obey, typically, I'm not saying it's all the time, you can get the dog to not run away from you. And again, let's pretend you get a dog that's older, okay? Let's say you get a 4-year-old husky. People sometimes say, well, that dog can't be retrained. Yes, it can. I've trained an 11-year-old Maltese who was a chronic peer in the house to stop peeing. The dog lived to be 17, never peed again. So it can happen. You can teach an old dog new tricks.
Now, where did you get Luna?
Oh, we were talking about that.
Yes, yes.
I got her at the same shelter, at the East Valley shelter. Yeah, that's where I got her.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's great.
She's beautiful. She's a great dog, just so much energy. And I worry because here I'm getting older and she's getting stronger, and I don't believe I can handle it.
What do you think about dog parks? Like exercising your dog? You take her to the dog park, right?
I do, because it's the only place I can see her run free and wild and get all that husky energy out. And she loves other dogs. She loves to play.
The first thing I would do is check ratings. Reviews at the dog park. That's number one. I personally have not had too many good experiences at dog parks. There's too many people there that refuse to train their dog or make excuses for their dog when it bites. It's not the dog's fault, it's the human's fault. If the human is not going to train the dog and then they bring a dangerous dog into a dog park, you're risking your dog's life. It's just that simple. Now, I would do reviews, and I always believe in what I call the partner theory, which is you bring a partner with you, with another dog. That can usually give you a little bit better chances of not getting bit or getting assaulted by another dog. And to be honest with you, if you see a mean dog in the dog park, turn around and get out. Just get out. There's no reason to sit there and try to risk it. We love our dogs. They're like our children. We invest a lot of money in our dogs, and I would definitely just get out. I mean, I personally do like some of the places that do doggy daycare. I know they can be expensive, but that is probably at least, I live in the Quad Cities, but I like some of the dog places there because they're very regulated. They're limited to 15 dogs per person, and there are always cameras there. So I think that's a great way, but if you can't afford that, there are other ways. Get a friend, get a couple friends together. Go in your yard, or if you don't have a yard, say, if you do go to a dog park, go at odd times. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, don't go during the normal times when there's, everybody there, because then you're just going to get into a mess as well.
Mm-hmm. Idea. Yeah.
And always look at the reviews. Talk to people. Talk to your friends.
No, I'm not liking dog parks as we speak. I get it, because I've had a couple of really bad incidences lately.
My dog got bit really bad, and the guy just ran and grabbed his dog and got in the car. So.
Yeah, they're scared they're going to be sued.
Yeah.
And people are just...
I can't stress training enough.
Really, they
won't own
dogs
it, yeah.
do.
Right.
And don't blame you, right?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
That's
to you?
Yeah, it was your fault because your dog rushed at my dog.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to tell you.
I got in the way of the
I hate
dog.
to tell you that the way the dogs recognize each other is by smelling each other's butts. They got to go up there and smell each other's butts. If you don't let them smell each other's butt, then there's always going to be that, well, what's up with this dog? When a dog smells another dog's rear end, what it can tell is the sex of the dog, if the dog is sick, if the dog's aggressive. It can tell about 17 different things just by one sniff.
What about, okay, you have a technique that works with dogs. Can you show Donna is it for respect? Is it for just obedience?
Well, there's one technique that I wish every shelter would do, and it's called the eye contact drill. Now, again, I said earlier, I believe that the eyes are the windows to our soul. Why do I believe this? Because I've been doing this 19 years, and I've seen it work, and it worked almost instantly with Linnea's dogs as well. But I'm going to have Linnea go.
Ken, this is Xena. She's a rescue. She's 8 years old, and the owners didn't want her anymore, and I need to get her respect. How can I do it?
Well, the first way is to do the look command.
Okay.
The look command makes the dog come up and look you in the eye. I believe that the eyes are the windows to the soul, like I said previously. Let me show you an example.
Okay.
Go ahead and let her loose just a little bit.
Okay.
There you go. Now the first thing you want to do is bring her in. Touch the treat to her nose, put it up to your eyes and say, look. Once the dog looks up, you hand the dog a treat. You do not over-reward. Don't say good boy, good girl. Dogs are very intelligent nowadays. And they will mistake that good boy or good girl for, they'll mistake your kindness for weakness. So what that means is that little obedience you had before, you just threw away. Now the main key to this is getting the dog to come to you first without speaking. Do not say the dog's name. The dog's name after a while becomes a comfort word. It's like saying no to your children. After a while it has no effect.
Yeah.
So you got to change the word, you change the game. Look. I'll do one more.
Okay.
Always move, make the dog come to you, because the first word is respect. Look. That's respect. You want to try?
Yeah. I want to try.
I'll take the leash from you.
Okay. My left hand, correct?
Yeah, I do two-handed commands because I like dogs to be stimulated and multitask.
Okay.
So the first command would be with your left hand, and then the real commands later would be with your right command. That means the dog would have 2 points of reference to look. Eyes, hand, eyes, hand.
Okay.
Okay, so to get her attention, go ahead and put the treat right to her nose with your left hand.
Okay.
Now step back.
Oh, and I don't say her name.
Nope. Now step back. Put it right to your, there, perfect. Say it.
Look.
Touch your thigh.
Oh.
Now, you're probably wondering, why do I want you to touch your thigh?
Mm-hmm.
Because it helps dogs that jump. Because if you do this, the dog might jump up and intercept the treat.
Oh.
But when you do this, it teaches the dog patience. They wait, and they quit jumping.
Okay.
And it's almost automatic. You don't really have to work on it. You just keep doing it. Let's try one more.
Okay.
I mean, we're already here and dressed for it, you know?
Exactly. Dressed for dogs.
Now step
Okay.
back. Remember, first word. Bring her in. Perfect.
Look.
Perfect. Touch your thigh. Awesome. Great
So
job.
you can look a dog in the eye, because Don and I were talking about it, and we thought that was like you're like aggressive, like it's an aggressive thing.
It's not that simple. Obviously, if you see a dog across the fence that's going crazy, you wouldn't go stare it right in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
But we use our eyes for direction to the dog. I believe in the eyes because you can do so many things with your eyes. Have you ever had a person or ever had a dog and you shot and look at it and the dog would, because it knows you're mad?
Yeah.
That's my theory. That's why that works. Because you can literally, if you did a whole course with me, by the end of the course, we would do everything silently. No more commands, just hand signals. And how do we get that is with the eyes first. Now, if you have an aggressive dog in front of you, how you should approach that dog is never, you're right about not looking at the dog, but what you want to do is kind of go like this. And I would never ever approach an aggressive dog, by the way, unless you either know the dog or you're working with the dog, okay? But yeah, you wouldn't go up there and just stare at the dog's eyes. That's,
And I think another thing is you don't talk that baby talk. Like,
No.
hi, good.
Now, some dogs react very badly to that squeaky voice. In fact, it takes away the whole energy. They'll start jumping at you and all that stuff. You guys want to know why that happens? Because you changed your entire demeanor. And believe it or not, everything you do, happy, sad, excited, whatever, has a scent. Dogs they go by your chemical reaction in your scent. I've trained dogs to recognize PTSD in soldiers. I've trained dogs to recognize diabetes spikes. What do these all have in common is the chemical change in the body.
Wow.
That's how they smell it. And then I kick up on that cue, then I teach the dog to do something like, for one of the soldiers that had PTSD, he would start doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So the dog would come up, put a paw on his leg, and start licking the guy's face, and he would stop.
Now, what if a dog isn't respecting you?
Well, I don't believe in using violence to get a dog to respect you. If the dog doesn't respect you, you're going to have to work a little bit harder at it. Also, another way is you can use your eyes for positive and negative. So let's say I'm trying to do the look command and the dog won't come up, okay? Then what I would do is simply turn around, take my eyes away, count to 3, turn back around, and typically the dog will come right back up.
Oh.
Now it all depends on your relationship with the dog as well. I mean, you can't just do this from, you know, some dog from you don't know, because they're not going to trust you right off the bat. But when your own dog disses you, you got to make them not do that.
Right.
Now, the only thing that I would do is if, let's say, a dog was not obeying you, is I'd put a leash on it and try to do it with the second person, and then eventually we'd have to probably make the dog come up to you and do it that way.
Well, I wanted to say something because something you said earlier, I did not know was a sign of disrespect or dissing you, is when they won't look you in the eye.
Correct.
I thought it was they'd done something wrong and they were looking guilty.
Nope. That means that they believe they are in charge of you.
Ooh.
Especially if they paw you. Now, I'm going to say something to you guys that you probably never heard in your life. Do not do the shake command. The shake command teaches the dog to paw at you. It teaches the dog aggression. It teaches the dog how to scratch your doorways. And the #1 injury in children is not a bite. It's a scratch to the face. Because 7 out of our top 10 dogs in America are large breed dogs. So they're about the same size as a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. So the dog thinks because you taught it shake, well, that's the easiest thing in the world is to pick up their paw. So they will literally walk up to you and go, back.
Yeah.
And they'll do it to anybody because they think they're going to get a treat.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now, you rescue a lot of dogs from the shelter, or
Yes.
people have dogs that they're going to put in the shelter.
Right.
Now, how does your technique work so the dogs don't go in shelters?
Well, there's never any true guarantees that a dog won't go to a shelter, but I can tell you this. 75% of dogs that are trained do not go into shelter for behavior reasons.
What are the reasons?
They moved. They didn't want the dog anymore. You know, there's all kinds of reasons that I could go through. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've heard people lie, cheat, and steal just to get rid of their dog. And they will give their dog a death sentence just to make their life more comforting. I believe in rescuing. Most all my dogs are rescued. I don't really like that people buy. I know there's got to be breeds. I know some people will have a dream of having a purebred German Shepherd. I can get that. You know what I mean? But literally 7 million dogs die every year. Every year. It's you know, if that was a human, I mean, just think what would be happening. And the biggest reason why dogs die is overbreeding and non-training. I know sometimes training can be expensive. Now, my training I do in-home. I believe in in-home training because it's one-on-one and you're teaching the dog at ground zero where all the problems are going to happen. But any type of training is good in my opinion, no matter where you go.
Okay. Now, what are the breeds that are most euthanized in the shelters? Or killed? I don't like that word.
7 out of every 10 dogs in the shelter today are pit bulls or pit bull mixes.
Chihuahuas too.
And
right?
Chihuahuas
Yes,
too, that's the
yeah.
second one. Now, the thing is because Chihuahuas because they're so easy to breed and they're small. But pit bulls is because a lot of people want a status symbol or a certain color.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you guys something about pit bulls. Pit bulls were originally fawn, orange, all of them. When you get a pit bull that's pure white or black and white, looks like a cow, those are recessive genes. The dog was not supposed to be that color. So when you take something from somewhere else, what happens with a pit bull is brain loss. The brain shrinks a little bit. It's not as big as it was before. And that can then set off a pit bull sometimes, where something I call the pit bull stare. Now, it's not always pit bulls. It can happen with Dobermans, Rottweilers. There's some breeds that are meant to be just a tad bit more aggressive. It doesn't mean they will be. They can be sweet and loving, everything else. But I've seen a lot of dogs snap, and not just pit bulls. It usually goes by the people who own it. If you overbaby, you see, pit bulls way back when were bred to grab a cow by the nose in a pit and hold it while the farmer worked on it. That was what they were supposed to do.
Wow. Oh, that's what that was.
Yeah. Then later, well, remember they had rings on the
I thought
bulls?
they fought bulls, is what I
Oh,
thought.
I did too.
Yeah.
Well, you remember the rings they used to put on the bulls?
Yes.
That was what the pit bull would grab on.
Oh my God.
Oh.
That
And they
makes
would hold
sense.
the bull down. Now, then after that, they didn't need that anymore. Then the pit bulls were brought in by the English, and they started training the pit bulls to guard the royal children. And you literally could not walk in the room. In fact, you can look up the nanny dog. You can Google nanny dog, and that'll tell you everything that I'm saying right now.
Another thing, which is really important that I've heard, how do you make, like, if your dog escapes, how do you make them come back to you? Like, is there a come command that?
Well, I can do a come command, but you got to remember also it takes anywhere from 6 months to a year to acclimate a rescue dog.
Wow.
People don't know that.
Yeah.
Rescues won't tell you that. No offense.
Donna, was your dog that you rescued, the husky, was it, when you got it, was it like really destructive? Was it?
Extremely.
Could be for one or two reasons. It probably was angry that its owner got rid of it. And when a dog is destructed and it's brand new, they're afraid you're going to leave. They're afraid you're going to disappear because they've already had that trauma of getting lost. Because remember, the last words that most rescue dogs will hear is goodbye by their owner. So every time you walk out that door and say goodbye, it's reliving that trauma again.
Yeah. Now, what did your husky do? Like, what kind of behaviors did it, for being rescued?
The destructful behaviors is she toilet paper everywhere. She loves paper to tear it up. She tore up my books.
Those are also bonded with animal fat.
Oh, is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
What else?
interesting. Plants in the backyard.
That was all, believe it or
trees.
not, as bad as that is, that was all to get your attention.
She got my
I
attention
know.
too many times.
Yes. Did she do it when you were leaving, when you were gone, or when you were there?
No, I never knew when she did it. Sometimes I would just see the aftermath, but I do know that she will go outside because I let her go outside, and at night just to cool off, and next thing I know, there was a palm tree that was dug up. So she had done that while I was lying down in bed before I was bringing her to bed.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
So I
brought
was
that
there.
up because I have something that a lot of people are against, but I personally am not. Cages, kennels.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. A mentally healthy dog will go in and out of its kennel. A dog that will not go in the kennel is not mentally healthy. And sometimes, look, I don't want to keep a dog in a kennel 24/7, but before you get the dog that's going to destroy your home when you leave because you're against kennels, well, eventually when you do $20,000 damage to your house, you're going to get sick of it and probably get rid of the dog. So you caused that all by yourself, not you two in particular.
Right.
But I see a lot of these, what I call crusaders, saying anti-kennel, anti-this. Let me tell you something. My dogs love their kennel. I can look at, when I'm home, I have 2 kennels set up. And any part of the day, I'll find 1 or 2 of my dogs in one of the kennels. All you do is simply leave a kennel out, leave the door open, and that's all you really ever need to do. If a dog does not want to go a kennel, let's say the dog's scared of the kennel, periodically through the day, throw a treat in there. You'll come back later, disappear.
Well, it's like a den for them. Dogs
Yes,
are,
exactly.
Dogs
Like
are
their
pack
den.
animals.
Or
They
and
love
it's
their
den,
crate.
their
Or a
private
woman
space.
cave, or a
Yeah.
man cave,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Don't look at it as it's a tool, and sometimes we got to keep our homes safe. You
It's a
don't want
little
the,
comfort zone.
and not only that, dude, think about this. Some of us humans, we're human. We forget things. So that dog may be out of a kennel and decide to explore and all of a sudden find your pills that you accidentally left out.
Oh
And then
my
what
God.
happens?
We don't leave anything out. Everything's
I
high
know.
up because especially huskies will steal things.
Yes.
Now
And-
you should do your work right
My
before you get a
eyeglasses.
breed dog or
Yes.
go to the shelter and terriers are aggressive.
Yes, please. Now, also too, when you go to a shelter, make sure if you have a second dog, please bring the dog to the shelter.
They won't let you do them.
They won't here.
Nope, I
They do
tried.
in Illinois.
Yeah, they won't.
They won't
Well, I
do
guess in
what?
California
They
you
won't
can't
let
do
you
that.
bring the second dog into the where the dogs are
Oh no.
because I needed to. Well, not but they're in the cages.
So what
Right.
happened?
I wanted to. I was looking for Luna for a
Honestly,
friend.
that would calm her down big time.
what?
That would calm her down.
I know.
I hate telling somebody to get a dog to calm another dog down.
Right. No, well, I know what.
So what happened when you went to the shelter? What wouldn't they allow?
They wouldn't allow me to bring the dog that I had to see if it got along with the other dog.
That's not right.
No.
No.
I don't know
They
what
wouldn't
your
let me
laws
do
are
that.
here.
I would have
Yeah.
had to already adopt the dog, and then I could see if they got along.
Yeah, a lot of shelters are doing that
Yeah.
now because you know why? Because they want to get them out. It's just that simple. They want to get them out, and that's why
This was
I'm
a
not.
year and a half ago.
All shelters are not bad, but I've worked at a lot of shelters, and I see a lot of egos, and it's not about the dogs anymore, it's about numbers. And I do my own rescuing now. Like this particular rescue here is a sanctuary as well. So that means if the dog doesn't get adopted, then we're okay with the dog sitting here and living a great life anyway.
The
And I like that.
Rouge Rescue and Sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
Oh yeah.
That's what I.
Yay!
Now let
Dogs
me tell you
dance.
guys something. If you do introduce dogs, try to do it on neutral ground, in like a yard situation, and never just let the dog loose. What I do is I take 2 dogs on a leash and I do rounds. Like, let's say Zena's here and another dog's there. We would do we would be always across each other but walk in a circle. And then we would eventually minimize the circle and get closer and closer, because you'll know right away if one of the dogs is going to be aggressive.
Yeah. Sounds like a shark attack.
Yes, yes,
You
it's a
know
shark
that
circling.
dance.
Dun, 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 dun.
I know.
Now, do you have any questions?
You know I did. How do you deal with, like Luna? You know, she's a big puppy, and if I were to have, I mean, I do have a smaller dog, but a lot of the smaller dogs are very intimidated by her, and she just wants to play. How do you get those to, like the
along?
little dogs get scared, you know?
Well, first thing you want to do
Not
is
that little, but maybe.
the first thing. That's a great question. Again, don't throw the dog in the mix, especially if you have other dogs that are scared. What I do is, like we did with Xena, is we bring in the dog with a leash, walk back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Typically, the dog will pee or poop or something like that, and then the other dogs will come up and smell the smells. So now they're smelling the smell, so then if you notice like we did, then the dogs got a little bit more comfortable. Also, remember, a dog on a leash is going to be more aggressive, okay? Because some dogs believe that they're trying to protect you, okay? Do not, that's the one time that you do not want to yell and scream. The one thing you want,
them, right?
or pet them, yes. Because if you pet your dog while another dog, then this one's going to think you just okayed that to go after the other dog.
And let them smell butts.
Yes, the butt smell thing.
Yeah, let them.
Thank God humans don't do that, by the way.
Yes.
But on dogs, they can tell everything by sniffing at the rear end.
You know what? I had an observation with Luna that, you know, when I could not take her to the dog park, I would take her on a lot of walks, you know, like 5 walks a day. But only like for 2 blocks. But she just wanted to smell those smells. And is that, to me, it seemed that she enjoyed that more than somebody taking her down to the park and all that. She just wanted to know what was going on in the neighborhood.
Because well, that's a great question too. The reason why dogs smell is because they're looking for familiar places. And when they look for familiar places, it makes them feel better about themselves because it's like their territory. So, but what I would do, the best exercise and thing you can do with your dogs is interaction with other dogs. I suggest anybody, as soon as you get a puppy, make sure you interact with other dogs. Don't isolate that dog. Don't be like, oh, my dog's so small. Eh? No, because that dog's going to wind up becoming protective over you, especially smaller dogs. When the smaller dog, like children love to pick up puppies. I don't blame them, but always remember, if you keep doing that, then the puppy's going to expect that from you for the rest of your life. So if you're going to pick up a puppy, if you don't mind holding this for me, what you do is you can still pick up the puppy, but invite it first. That's called first word. You get the first word in. It's like you have a best friend that always has to get the last word in. Well, this is your best friend, but you got to get the last and the first word in.
Okay. That makes
So
a lot of
something
sense.
like this is that you're inviting
Simple.
them.
Yep. Or,
And what about making noises like,
well, you can do kissies and stuff like that. That'll work as well.
but just not their name?
Well, no, that's a different story.
Oh,
During the training, you don't want to use the name.
okay.
But when you're just interacting as regular, you can use their name.
What about when you do the come command? Do you use their name?
I'm going to show you right now.
Okay,
Great question.
okay.
Perfect set.
Okay.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. You think about that on loose, run.
She might.
Luna, by the way.
All right, here's what we're going to do then. Let's have you hold the dog first.
Okay.
Just right here like this. Now, Linnea, would you mind getting up?
Oh, no, not at all. I'll get out of the way so she's not distracted too.
Now, what we're going to do... Now,
I've got a bad knee, that's why I'm sitting down.
now typically,
She got hit in a dog park, that's why.
typically what I would do is I'd do this loose leash because I like... to me, the come command is super duper important. I've had over 50 of my ex-clients tell me that this command literally saved the dog's life. Literally.
Yes.
In fact, I have a gentleman that sends me $50 every Christmas just because that command
Well,
saved
they
the
could
dog's
run
life.
out in the street.
And the cool part about this, yes, you're exactly right. They could run out the street. And I call those, that's a great, again, thing, because I was going to tell you what I was going to do. My goal when I train is I want that dog to be so automatic on the come command, if you accidentally say come, the dog comes. Because I believe in real life, okay? I can show you a bunch of commands that are cool and everything else. But I believe in real life. I want you to be able to save that dog at any minute. So let's pretend that you got a handful of groceries, just like the other day, and you're by yourself, and you got to open this, and you got to use that. Next thing, the dog bolts.
Yes.
Okay. I want to avoid that, and we can. And I developed a theory called the touch method. Okay. I use it for 2 of my commands. The come command is one of the theories that I have that's worked for now 15 years. Now, what I have the dog do is to complete the command, the come command, the dog must come all the way up to my hand and touch it. I'll show you.
Okay.
Now, what's really cool too, guys, is that the human hand actually reflects in a dog's eyes. So, if you don't mind holding this for a second,
No.
go ahead and leave her loose.
Okay.
Now, what I don't do is do a lot of different words. I don't use her name, anything else, just one simple command. Come.
Wow.
Dog touches, treat. Like a big human pop machine. Okay? The quarter is the hand. The pop is the treat. Let me try again.
Yeah, because she's got a lot of distractions
Right.
here, and she's doing it.
Come.
Because we didn't even practice that.
Oh my God,
I
Do
know.
one more.
Okay. We didn't practice this at all.
This was one of the things I was going to show you.
Yes.
Say something to the caller.
Or Zena, I have so many dogs.
Come.
I don't- Wow.
If you notice, the dog hits the hand every single time. Why? Because I'm that good. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah,
It's
really.
because the hand actually casts a reflection in the dog's eyes. They can't help themselves. They're going to go towards it no matter what. But remember, the biggest failure on some of my clients, and I don't mean this badly, but they forget because we're human, they forget to get that touch. Every time that dog touches your hand, you steal a piece of power away from the dog. You get more respect that way. Okay? And the one thing you do not want to do after the dog comes is, good boy, good girl. You blew everything. A simple treat is good enough. Good enough.
So what does Donna need to work on when she?
Eye contact and come.
Okay.
Now let's have you try. You mind?
No.
I'll hand you the treats.
Yeah, I want to see if I can do it.
No, I'll
She
take the dog.
respects me.
Now what I'm going to do is have you walk over by that bush. Now remember the right hand, left hand for treats, right hand for the command.
Okay.
Now don't say anything. Now walk over there. Ready, go.
Come.
What did Linnea just do wrong?
I did the wrong hand.
Yes, keep the treat behind your back. She would have came in with
Oh.
her hand. It's okay, it's okay.
Okay. And
It's
then
your
I put
first
this
time.
hand down.
Yeah, this
Okay.
I don't even want to see that hand until that hand's hit.
Okay.
So this goes behind your back.
Okay.
Try again. Step over here. Go.
Come.
Give it a treat. No good girls. Walk
No.
away.
I know
Walk
that's
away.
hard.
Walk away. That's respect, my friends. Go again. Nope. Stay right where you're at.
Oh.
Have her come to you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go.
Come.
Loud.
So when
Bam.
she touches my hand.
If your eyes were closed, you would feel that touch, and you give it a treat.
Can Donna try it?
Yes.
So it's her left hand. Okay.
And go.
Behind your back.
Say it.
Come.
Give it a treat.
Wow. She respects
Well,
you.
my dog does it.
You guys, I know
Because-
your own
because you have a
dog
different
doesn't respect
person
you.
Taking over. No, wait. Let's
wait.
go over here. Luna, or
I know we're all calling her Luna.
Zena. Go.
Come. Come.
Say it again.
Come. She knows it's back
I
there.
You're
know.
sitting down.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a perfect
Oh, there
example.
she did it.
Okay, this is a perfect example of how if a dog doesn't come to your hand again, let me show you a technique that will work. You flick the light. That's simple. Just flick the
Oh,
Remember,
so-
this is
yeah.
to the dog, this is like a flashlight. Watch. I'm gonna pull her over here again.
Okay.
And if she doesn't come to hit it the first time,
Right.
flick the light.
Okay.
But don't say any more words. Just come. Come on. Go.
Come. Come. Come.
Say it again.
Come.
Keep doing it.
Come.
Got it.
Yay.
Now the reason why Xena is not obeying as well as I want her to right now is because when we sit down on the floor, we're the same height as them. So they believe that they're even with us, if that makes sense. But when we're up and above them, we have more power. Let's have Linnea do one more. Linnea do one more.
Now, do you ever like go down and?
Now when you're doing commands.
Okay, what about like praising
running
them?
at you.
Yeah, really.
Well, when a dog runs at you, what I would do is, number one, I would sit there and do this.
Oh, so they don't jump?
So they won't hit a moving target. Also, I see a lot of people when they try to get a dog to avoid them, they do this.
Yes.
Well, I just proved that theory wrong because they're going to hit your hand.
Yeah.
This looks like little flashlights to them. So you simply keep your eyes front and march in place and keep your hands high.
Is that why little kids get bit a lot?
All the time, yes.
Oh, because they're always doing that.
Because they're always doing this.
Okay. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Come. Come. No, come. Come.
Okay. I'm going to show you something. Linnea, turn around.
Okay.
Now step back, or forward, and then turn around and try again. Go.
Come.
She psyched you. She
Yes.
didn't touch your hand.
Oh, okay.
You
One
see
more
that though?
time.
But you see how she came right back after you
Yes.
turned your back?
Yes.
Now, remember we can use the eyes for positive and the eyes for negative. Step over there or whatever. Tina. Right. Go.
Come. Oops. Come. Oh, she's got to fly. Come.
Okay,
No,
now she's
come.
challenging Linnea.
Yeah, she is.
She's just decided she doesn't want Linnea to be the boss. So Linnea's going to turn around. Turn back around again. Let's try again.
Come.
Click it. Got
Oh,
it.
got it. Xena. Oh, I don't say her name.
That's okay. She don't want the treat. She don't want the treat. She still
Yeah.
did it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, she still did it.
I don't do
Good.
treats and praise at the same time. Since she didn't get a treat, now you can pet her.
Oh, okay. So don't.
I don't do two rewards
Don't
at
do
once.
too much.
Yes.
Don't overdo it.
Right. People, let's face it, we over-reward our children as a society, and we over-reward our dogs. If you want true respect, reward them once. They're still getting something out of it. Okay? But it still gives you the power.
Well, I really want to thank you for coming out from Iowa, where your training is, and coming out here, working with the dogs, with Donna's dogs, with the Moulin Rouge Sanctuary and Rescue. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like a dream come true.
Donna.
I'm gonna get up if I can.
I get to meet two of my heroes from the movies, so it's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Not only saving my life, saving the dog's life.
Yes.
Awesome.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like your shirt. The Fast and the
The
Furious.
By the way, don't miss Midwest Monster Fest. She's going to be there
Yes.
September.
Maybe
Midwest
we could
Monster
get
Fest.
Donna there. That would be great.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
Yes.
Oh, where is it?
Midwest Monster Fest.
In the Midwest.
East
Oh, yeah.
Moline.
Dragon Micro Budget Studios brings you a new concept in movie watching on the small screen, containing some of the world's most interesting films by cinema's biggest talent, which will be shown and added to on a monthly basis. As a subscriber, you will be able to receive free stuff and learn from the various tutorials and equipment reviews that will be uploaded at Dragon. Oh!